All right. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shalom.
And before we get started, we'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to where it's due to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Chakwadash.
Yahweh, being the true name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly and incorrectly calls God. Bahashem, in the name. Yahweh Shah, the true name of the only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, who the world ignorantly and incorrectly calls Jesus Christ. Bahashem, in the name. Chakwadash, the Holy Spirit. We'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well and who taught us the truth, and peace, blessing, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. May the blessing of election fall upon you and your household. To you we say Shabbat Shalom, Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shalom.
And tonight, this is a branch of the Kentucky Hebrew Israelite Church, coming back at you tonight with another Shabbat lesson, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shabbat Shalom. And in tonight's Shabbat lesson, as you see the title, things are heating up on the World War III front. Again, things are heating up on the World War III front. And, just as the title says it, things are intensifying, things are escalating, within, what's going on over there with Russia, Ukraine. And, we got some articles, we're just going to get right into it, as well as, what China has to say about, them telling their citizens to get out, to evacuate, and not just China, but other nations like Egypt and other nations are telling their citizens to get out of Ukraine. And you got to think, what do they know that you don't know? Because, through the strength of Yahweh, we're going to just bring it right out and, get some precepts as well, linking up, with what we bring out. Without further ado, just hand it over to the brother.
Right. And like the brother has already said, things are heating up on the World War III front, and that is very beautiful. That's a booster. That boosts our faith, because we see the prophecies being fulfilled pursuant to Habakkuk 2 and 3. And it's comforting because we know that the end is near.
That's right.
Okay. 1 Peter 4 and 7. Okay. And it reads, but the end of all things is at hand. What does it mean for something to be at hand? It means that it's right there. It is right there. It's right here. The end of what? A few things, some things, one or two things. All things is what? At hand. It's right here. It's right there.
Right.
So what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Huh? Be ye therefore sober. Make sure you got your mind right.
Right.
Okay. Make sure you're not drunk with the wine of Babylon. Okay. Put the cup of the wine of Babylon, the cup of the wine of the fornication of Babylon, America, Babylon the Great. Put it down and back away. Okay. Be sober. Sober up. Okay.
Right.
You got that cup to your lips. You're drunk. You can't see straight. You can't talk right. You can't hear right. You can't move right. You can't do anything right because you're drunk. Sober up. Be ye therefore sober and watch. Watch unto prayer. Prayer. Watch unto prayer. What's the scripture say? Pray without ceasing. We're to continually be in a spirit and in an attitude and a mindset of prayer. Okay? Continually calling on the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, giving thanks, giving glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, praying for strength, praying for mercy, praying for wisdom, okay? Praying for faith, all the things that we need. See, This is the time that we're in. And let's back it up with the Revelation 1 and 3. Let everything be confirmed by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. We got Peter. Let's get John, the Revelator, as they call him. And let's see if he agrees with Peter, because if he does, then we got our 2 witnesses. Let everything be confirmed by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, as is written in our law. So this is Revelation 1 and 3, and it reads, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. Yeah, I heard it. And keep those things which are written therein. Are you keeping it though? Okay, because when it said here, it really was talking about, it wasn't talking about with these ears, it was talking about your spiritual ears. See, so blessed is he that readeth, And they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. And that's being made manifest, man.
Right.
We could get into 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, but we're going to go ahead and move on now so we can get through this lesson. But 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, right? The end is manifest.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And shalom to the our king.
Let me see.
I believe it says.
Yeah, it looks like our king. All right. Yes.
Yabashim Shabbat.
Yeah.
And any other, brothers, Aki and Wa'akwat that may be listening or watching, Yabashim Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. So without any further ado, which one was you going to get first?
It's up to you.
Let's kick it off, man. We're going to keep pounding and pounding and pounding and pushing and pushing and pushing that Revelation 9 and 12 and 11 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll start off with that article about China.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start off with that.
This is Revelation 9 and verse 12. And it reads, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
Now, you've been sitting up in the so-called Christian church for years, man. Years. Decades. How you know? Because I was. And they never told you what those woes were. Did they ever even read that verse? Okay.
I never heard it.
They like to go and play around in Revelations because they feel big and bad when they play around in Revelations, but they playing with fire. Then you never get the understanding. And if they try to bring us some understanding, then you got questions because now something don't make sense. It seems to make sense when they bring it out in the sermon, but then when you go away and you think about it, and then you read, you might get a wild hair, you get a little squirrely, and you want to do a little reading. You read something, you say, man, that don't seem to make sense. Well, I thought when I read this over here, Pastor said that it meant that. Mm-hmm. Then I'm reading this over here, and now that seems to be going against what he said. That's because he got the truth, man.
Right.
What are these woes? Okay, Revelation 11, 14.
Revelation 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Yeah. These woes are the three world wars, man. And it tells you right there that the first one is past and the second one is past. Is not the first World War history? Is not the second World War history? And it never says that the third woe is past. It just says it exists and it's coming. That's right. And quickly. Mm-hmm. And that is because the time when the understanding of now they were all out in the future. They were all future prophecies when this was written. But the time when the understanding of these prophecies in the scriptures was going to be released on the face of the earth and pushed on the face of the earth by the men of the Lord is between the second and the third woe.
Right.
Between the second and the third world war. That's the reason why, although they all were future prophecies when this was written, it tells you the first is past and the second is past. And then it tells you that the third's coming quickly. Right. Because it is coming quickly. In fact, it's coming so quickly that it's here.
That's right.
On the ramp up. Okay, it's on the ramp up. It's here. It's begun, man. Are they not fighting? This is the beginning of World War III. Are they fighting yet? Well, it's started. Okay, it's just got a lot more intensifying to do. But don't expect that intensification to take a long time. Okay, there's some prophecies that need to happen before the Third World War goes all the way hot. Namely, the charagma, the Revelation 13 badge, the beast rights being made mandatory,
right?
And then Jacob's trouble and etc. Right? But all that's
famine of the word.
Famine of the word, Isaiah 4:1. All that's right there.
That's right.
Okay, so at the appointed moment, at the appointed time, that it's like these prophecies are like racing, man. Yeah. It's like what you got that they have that gun, you have the racers lined up. Those racers are prophecies. And that gun fires off and they take off. And that charagma, that Revelation 13 badge prophecy, once that one takes off, all the others are going to come right behind it. Yeah. Okay. The third woe is here, but it's on the ramp up. And once that Revelation 13 badge takes off, Jacob's trouble, famine of the word, Isaiah 4:1, The third world's war goes all the way hot, hard boiled. Missiles fly, Yahweh Hamashiach comes back and delivers the elect. Boom, 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 boom. We don't have a lot of time, you know. And the third world's war, the third woe, that's the last of them before the final prophecy is fulfilled. So if this one is hastened greatly, how much more so the ones that are ahead of it?
That's right.
See.
So get into the first news article from AsiaMarkets.com. Let me zoom it in. Get a good look at Xi Jinping's face.
Xi Jinping.
That's right.
Right.
It was published yesterday, I believe.
Yeah. Xi Jinping needs to get ready for slavery because he's going into slavery.
That's right.
Let me get a quick precept on that real quick.
Yep.
Just get a quick precept on that. I know we're trying to move, we're trying to boogie oogie tonight, but we're gonna get a quick precept on that to bring it out that Xi Jinping is getting ready to go into slavery. Mm-hmm. I expect that he's going to survive the nuclear destruction. Okay. But he's going to survive it so that he and his can go into slavery. Okay, this is the 149th Psalm. And it reads, I could get the whole thing, but I'm going to get straight to the point. Okay, let's get 6, 7. Okay, we're going to get 6, 7, 8, 9. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, referring to the saints, which the precepts tell us that the saints are the Israelites. Okay, so let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, the saints' mouth, the Israelites, and a two-edged sword in their hand. What are they going to do? To execute vengeance upon the heathen. Xi Jinping is a heathen, and their nobles with fetters of iron. You got the heathen, you got the nobles. Okay, but it ain't done. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings. Yeah, Xi Jinping is a king. With chains. He's going to have chains slapped on him.
That's right.
And their nobles. Yeah, that's like those that are his advisors, those that are on his cabinet. You have, I don't know what they call them over there in the land of Moab, which is China. But, over here, for example, it'd be the senators, the governors, the mayors, stuff like that. That's the nobles.
Yep.
Okay. What are we going to do to the kings and nobles again? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. Can't be changed. It's written, man. This is an honor, man, have all his saints, the Israelites, the elect men of the Lord, the 144,000, and the friends of the prophets, praise ye Yahweh. So yeah, Xi Jinping's getting ready to go to sleep.
We can't wait.
We can't wait.
We can't wait for that day.
Can't wait, man.
So this is published October 16th, 2022, the year of Yahweh Shem Yahshua turning up, the year of the turn up, and Yahweh Shem Yahshua is indeed turning up. And so it says, evacuate now. China tells citizens to leave Ukraine amid nuclear fears.
No, wait a minute. Isn't like Xi Jinping like Vladimir Putin's like tightest homie?
Yeah.
They call it a bromance.
Yeah.
They got a hardcore, serious bromance going.
That's right.
Yeah, they like bosom buddies and stuff, man.
Right.
They talk about the cooperation between Russia, between the Kremlin and Moscow and Beijing being a no limits cooperation, a no limits partnership. Mm-hmm. Okay, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now having said that, Xi Jinping is concerned about his citizens' well-being over there because of nuclear fears, and he's telling them to do what? Hey, take your time. You might want to get out sometime in the next, 6 to 8 months. No, he's telling them get your ass out of Ukraine now.
Yeah.
I think maybe Xi Jinping might know something.
That's right.
Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put it together. Right. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, right. That's it. Go. You got it.
Yep. So it says again, evacuate now. China tells citizens to leave Ukraine amid nuclear fears. It says China has told its citizens in Ukraine to evacuate the country immediately, fueling fears a nuclear attack is imminent. According to Chinese state media, the Chinese embassy in Ukraine is helping to organize the sudden exodus. And it says, with the current grim security situation in Ukraine, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Chinese embassy in Ukraine urged Chinese citizens in the country to enhance safety precautions and evacuate. Because if they was just them by themselves, it may be a little difficult to exit Ukraine. You know, looking at flights and so on and so forth. But if you got the help of the embassy in Ukraine, the Chinese embassy in Ukraine, it'll make it a lot smoother and a lot quicker for you to get out of Ukraine. It says separate reports say the foreign ministry Slovakia and the embassy also made the appeal in a press release. Those in Ukraine should contact the embassy as soon as possible and register their personal information, one Chinese website said. People who voluntarily evacuate and transfer by themselves are asked to report to the diplomatic mission. Then they got Global Times. They're coming out with tweets and going into it, saying that they need to evacuate. And it says tensions escalate to new level. The Global Times report made no mention of a potential nuclear threat, but said tensions in Ukraine had escalated to a new level.
Yeah, and keep in mind that NATO has just been conducting nuclear exercises.
Yep.
I wonder why they're doing that.
Right.
Well, because it was already scheduled. Yeah, right, man.
All right.
Whether it was already scheduled or not. Do you think if they wasn't getting ready, if they really didn't want to go to nuclear war or take it to that level, and they had already scheduled nuclear testing and exercises, but they really didn't want to go there right now, they'd be like, you know what, this isn't a good time for us to do those exercises.
Right.
Like we wouldn't want that to be taken the wrong way.
Right.
We wouldn't want to accidentally oops, and then there's a tactical missile going over there to Moscow.
Right.
So but guess what? They went ahead and did it.
Yep. That's it. So it says, once again, please do not stay in the country unless it is urgent.
Sounds like they're begging their citizens to me.
Right, yeah.
Sounds like it's a dire situation. Sounds like it's serious. Sounds like it's like we don't want you motherfuckers to get nuked.
Right. Right. We don't want you to get caught in the cross.
Sounds like that's what they're saying.
Yeah, right. Once again, please do not stay in the country unless it is urgent and necessary, and leave the country as soon as it is safe to do so. It says, in more countries begin emergency evacuations.
Oh my goodness! I thought it was just China.
Right? Nope. It says 8 other countries have reportedly joined China in inviting their citizens to evacuate Ukraine in recent days.
Why are they doing that?
And you see
I don't see any reason whatsoever for them to evacuate their citizens. Do you? I don't see any reason. Why are they doing that? I think they're overreacting.
Right. No. It's so it says there are also unconfirmed reports that Kazakhstan has closed its embassy in Ukraine.
They're closing embassies?
Yep. Right.
They're not the only ones that's closed their embassy.
Right.
Okay, they're led by China. They are telling their citizens, get out now.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And then here comes the other. Yeah. Hey, our citizens, get out now as well. All the Stanley countries, the Uzbekistan, the Kazakhstan, the Yukanistan, all of them, right? They telling their citizens, get out now. Right. Oh, and shut down the embassy.
Right.
Close the embassy.
Mm-hmm.
But things aren't heating up.
Yeah, things aren't.
Everything's listen to your government tell you that we see no signs of no change in posture, no change in the nuclear posture of Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no change in the nuclear posture of Moscow, but Armageddon is coming.
Right.
Yeah, that's what Biden said. Biden says Armageddon's coming. Watch out, Armageddon's on the way.
Right.
But then they tell you that no, Moscow's not doing anything to indicate they're going to shoot nuclear weapons.
Right.
Okay, just showing you how the goddamn devil talks out both sides of his mouth.
Mm-hmm. It says nuclear war is increasingly likely. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, is among many of
He's not.
Right.
He's not even close. But go ahead.
Elon Musk is among many observers who believe the threat of a nuclear attack is growing. Nuclear war probability is rising rapidly. And what it said, World War III, or the third woe cometh quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's increasingly with each passing day, man, we grow closer and closer to World War III.
Right.
It says Russia has the ability to destroy the USA and Europe utterly with nuclear missiles in less than 30 minutes.
Ooh. Gotta get a precept out. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go to the book of Revelation. Read that again one more time.
It says Russia has the ability to destroy the USA and Europe utterly with nuclear missiles in less than 30 minutes.
I thought it was Revelation 18. And it is Revelation 18. Let's read this. It's in here multiple places. Yeah. Okay. Let's get I'm just going to read it, man, because, we're trying to, not go too long tonight. Revelation 18:7. My goodness.
Your head goes down.
Oh, man. There's no good starting place except like verse 1.
Yeah.
There's no good starting place except the top.
Right.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to start at verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins. This is the deliverance on the chariots. Okay. And that you receive not of her plagues. The chief plague is this thermonuclear destruction. Mm-hmm. For her sins, whose? America, Babylon the Great, the whore that rides upon the beast, have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, referring to America, Babylon the Great, and lived deliciously. And hasn't she? So much torment and sorrow give. Can't you see like a woman who's just about the most wicked woman? She's a whore, she's a harlot, she's a slut, she's a hussy, she's all of that, right?
Could think of a few.
You can think of a few more, right? Okay, she's all of that, right?
Yeah.
And she just enjoying herself in her wickedness, and her fornications and her adultery. And she's sitting there sucking on some abominable food. A good picture of that is the movie Django. There was this one because he had I think he called her Cookie. She was Israel, she's a good-looking Israelite woman, but she was like his little piece of jungle booty. And there was this one scene where she's sitting around the table, smoozing with all of them, sucking on some crawfish, which is an abomination. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's what it is, living deliciously. Yep. Right? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I said a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That ties to the book of Isaiah. There's precept for that in Isaiah. Therefore, this is the point, shall her plagues, that thermonuclear destruction, being chief, come in one day, death and mourning and famine, literally one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly, that means completely and totally, extremely and severely burned with fire, thermonuclear fire to be exact. Mm-hmm. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. And that's not actually, you got to get two more. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. Why? Because they love her? Because they love her? It tells us in, what's that? I want to say the book of Nahum, the first chapter, it might be the third chapter, that nobody's going to bemoan her. So why are they bemoaning her? And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Why? Because they love her? They just thought she was so great?
Right.
No, because they made money off of her.
Yeah,
They don't give a damn about her. They hate her. But they love the money.
Yep.
Must be the money, right? They love the money. They're not bemoaning her. They're bemoaning the money. Okay? Yeah, they're bemoaning the money. Standing afar off, verse 10, afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, America, that mighty city, who wants to go down, who wants to throw down with America, man? Nobody really. Well, now that we're at the end, people are banding together. Nobody still wants to go up against America by themselves, but they'll band together. The only one that might throw down with America by themselves is Russia, and they beat Edomites. They're Edomites as well, right? But really, no, and even Russia, that's why you have a Cold War. Russia, Russia's ready to throw down if they got to, but they ain't just going to do it just because they just want to. They'll do it out of necessity. All the other nations, they ain't going to go up against America like that. But now we're at the end, and America is weakened. They're emboldened. They're strengthened, and they're banding together, and they're coming together under the banner of Gog and Magog, which is Russia. Now they're ready to throw down with America. But see, all in recent history leading up to this point, that has not been. America, Babylon the Great, is that great city, that mighty city. For in 1 hour, literally just 1 hour, is thy judgment come. Now read that again, huh?
It says again, Russia has the ability to destroy the USA and Europe utterly with nuclear missiles in less than 30 minutes.
That's what it's saying, man. In 1 hour. No, it said in 1 hour. That's 30 minutes. It has to take 60 minutes. No, it means within that time frame, man. Right. Some people are simple-minded like that. No, it's not talking about that. It said 1 hour, so that means it got to be exactly 60 minutes. It's saying within that time frame. Hey, they got some missiles that can reach certain portions of the U.S. in like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Yep. Those hypersonics. They got the slow ass ICBMs that might take 30, 45 minutes to get over here. Mm-hmm. Okay? But it's within 1 hour. That's what it's saying. Let's get back into it.
So it says a surprising number of people don't know this. Of course, it would be mad to use them, but it is also mad to be in this situation at all.
Yeah, I think it was Christopher Green on AMTV was saying, well, I can't really say. It might have been Brad at Full Spectrum Survival, bad Brad. And he was saying, like, well, I really can't say exactly what the percentage of chance of nuclear weapons being fired off is. Is it 1%? Is it 2%? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? I can't really say, but the likelihood is increasing. Well, we can say what it is. The likelihood of nuclear weapons being fired off is 100%.
144%.
144%.
That's right. And I think that was about it on that.
Let's get the next one, bro.
All right.
The one that goes into that just piggybacks right off of that.
Mm-hmm.
That
one. And so this is from War News 24/7. It is a Greek website, so you got to translate it from Greek to English. It should give you the option. And it says, shock and awe coming to Kiev. 6 MiG-31s with Kinzhal and Minsk embassies evacuated and foreign nationals leaving. Belarusian BM-27 Uragan on border with Ukraine. It says,
and you don't even have to understand what all that means. But you get when the brother reads that, you see it on the screen, you read it, like, I don't know what all that means, but it sounds serious as hell.
Right.
It is.
That's right.
Yeah, because you're like, I know what you think. I don't really know what a MiG-31 is. I don't really know what a BM-27 is. What is this? Kinzhal? I don't know what it is, but it sounds serious, and it is. It sounds deadly, and it is.
Right. And it says
it reminds me of a scene. One of my favorite movies, might be possibly my most favorite movie, which is Tombstone, man. With Val Kilmer, I forget the other dude's name. It has Val Kilmer. It has Kurt Russell. A bunch of real good actors. And there's this one scene where Val Kilmer, who's playing Doc Holliday, is basically, he meets up with Johnny Ringo. I can see the guy's face. He's well known. Just can't remember his name. Who played Johnny Ringo. All of them are great actors, man. And they meet up in the saloon and they trade insults, and then they switch to saying the insults in Latin. And then the sheriff comes out. He's this older dude with this one of those goofy looking hats. And he's like, look, guys, I don't want any trouble in any language. You know, in other words, I don't know what the fuck y'all saying, but it sounds like y'all about to start, firing off shots. Yeah. Hey, man, you don't have to understand what a MiG-31 is. Michael. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Michael Biehn. And he's a good actor, man. He was in the original Terminator movie. He's probably a Jake because he was rocking the shit out of that role. They all were, man. Kurt Russell's a Jake, I believe. Val Kilmer's a Jake. Those are Israelite foreigners, man. All of them might have been because they rocked those roles, man. But anyway, I don't know what a MiG-31 is. I don't know what a Kenzo is. I don't know what a BM-27 is. But we don't want any trouble. Right. And there's another line in the movie. Well, you got trouble. Yeah. Hey, you got trouble, baby. Right. Because that was another line. That was Johnny Ringo that said that. Michael Biehn was like, well, you got trouble. It's like, I don't want any trouble. Well, you got trouble. This world got trouble. That's right. You can't be talking about you don't want no trouble now. Most High Yahweh Shem Hashai get ready to throw down on this world. What you talking about you don't want no trouble? Well, you got trouble. That's right. God damn it.
It's a lesson right there.
Go ahead.
So it says embassies evacuated and foreign nationals leaving. Talking about leaving Ukraine.
Yeah.
We understand that part. That's for sure because it says right here, China, it gives you the list.
You got nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. There's a song that says goes into that. You know? Because you're just going to run to another part of Europe, and guess what? Europe's going to get its share of nuclear missiles too, man.
Right.
Okay? It's not going to be completely destroyed, so you might be in a safe spot, but it's going to be looting. It's going to be, famine. It's going to be, mayhem. It's going to be, a lot of death and disease and pestilence and Leviathan.
Right.
Where you running to?
Right.
You're going to be like, damn, I just wish I'd have died in the nuclear destruction. Well, probably not, man. That's probably the greatest way. That's probably the greatest way to go.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. You think, well, it would have been quick. Well, how you know that? Right. This is the wrath of Yahweh Shem Hashai, man. Mm-hmm. Okay? And everybody's going to get the judgment. Except outside of those of the elect, everybody's going to get the judgment that the Most High has appointed for them. Right. So you're going to run from one place just to another place to get your judgment there. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So it says China, Egypt, Serbia, and other countries that I don't want to butcher right now issued emergency statements.
Yeah, the Stanley countries.
Right. Yeah. They issued emergency statements calling for their nationals to leave Kiev immediately and to leave Ukraine in general as Russia's shock and awe operation is expected.
Yeah, you got to go poltergeist on them. Get out.
Right.
From the old poltergeist movies, man. And I think that was Eddie Murphy. He was like, you don't see no black people in a horror film. Because, the whitey be coming up in there and be like, oh, look at this spooky shit. Let me go ahead and check this out. He walks all up into it. He say you get a brother walk up in there and he hears his voice. Get out. Brother's like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, and that's what they saying, man. They telling their citizens to get out.
Yep, that's it.
Go poltergeist on them, man. Get the hell out of here.
Right. I think they said if some black people made or Negroes made the movies, man, it won't be no movie because they getting up through. They ain't investigating nothing.
Right. I ain't going up in there. Right.
It'll be one quick movie. It says their embassies are closing. It says it is of great importance that friendly and allied countries with Russia have asked for the immediate evacuation of their embassies and the departure of their citizens.
No, which countries are doing it again?
Yeah, right there. It says friendly and allied countries with Russia.
So the countries that know what's going on, the countries that they got insider information. Right. Mm-hmm. The countries that got an ear to the wire, they got a tap on things. Right. Those are the ones that's closing their embassies and telling their citizens, their foreign nationals, to get out. Yep. Okay, just trying to keep that straight out.
Yep, just checking. It says the messages for Kiev are extremely ominous. A pack of 6 MiG-31s are capable of carrying hypersonic Kinzhal missiles.
Now we know what those are. The Kinzhals.
Yeah, right.
Hypersonic missiles, baby.
That's right. Landed for the first time in Belarus.
Oh, shoot, man.
Last time, man.
Armed with hypersonic missiles, man.
That's right, yeah.
And guess what? They can be conventional or nuclear, baby.
That's
they can
right.
put whatever warhead they want on.
Mm-hmm. It says last time mainly Su-30s and Su-35 fighters had landed. The pilots circled for 20 to 30 minutes before landing at the airport. It says at the same time, a Belarusian phalanx with a BM-27 Uragan MLRS system. What Mylars is?
That's what they pronounce it,
Yeah.
but I can't remember. It's multiple launch rocket system, I believe it is. Something like that.
It says that it was detected just 10 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. It says the first 9,000 reservists arrived in Gomel area to join the force of 70,000 Belarusians announced by Lukashenko.
Yeah, and that's like almost their entire army. I think their entire military is 75,000. Yeah. So he keeping a contingent of 5,000, a battalion of 5,000 back just to, keep the homeland safe. But they're pretty much essentially almost their whole military is involved in this.
Mm-hmm. It says that the most significant indicator of Minsk's deep military involvement is a triangle, and number 2 is Signa, now worn by Belarusian forces. Belarusians will enter Ukraine. And what we're reading, man, is this showing that World War III is heating up and intensifying. They got hypersonics and missiles in Belarus now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Belarus can be considered a nuclear power now, man. And
for all intents and purposes,
right? And these are clips of tanks, being transported. I believe, I don't know if they're being transported to Belarus. I had to mute it because they like their music. Just a little bit. I think it was like about 30 is what Paul said. 30 or so tanks. Just nuclear war escalation.
Mm-hmm.
So it says movement of Belarusian tanks to Russia. So these are tanks being moved from Belarus to Russia, just showing escalation. And you think America's getting ready like they are over here? Hell no, man. It says
you can expect that to kick in the gear at some point,
right?
Man.
Yep.
At some point,
yeah,
they're gonna be like, "Well, we're calling up the reservists," and then they're gonna be like, "Well, we're gonna call it. We're not gonna say don't say the word draft,
right?
Okay, call it. We're gonna call it a." I don't know. They're gonna come up with some other word, but they probably gonna come up with some other word. Right. They probably not gonna. The devil likes to play with the word. He probably not gonna come out and say the word draft.
Call it a raft,
but that's what it's gonna be, man.
Right,
it's gonna be a draft.
It says embassies are being evacuated and foreign nationals are hastily leaving. A number of countries are calling on their citizens to leave Ukraine immediately. We read that and leave the country. Get out.
Right.
So that's about Chinese embassy will help organize the evacuation of people in the need. And so just like the brother said, it's countries within the know, that are close with so the countries that you see that are evacuating their citizens and telling their citizens to leave are countries that have close-knit ties, friendly relations with Russia. And so that's about it on that one.
Yeah, let's get a precept real quick, and then we'll get that last article and get the rest of the precepts. Well,
Good. So,
yeah.
So this is, let's see, we're gonna get
You can get through the spirit, bro.
Okay, I get Jeremiah 50 and 9 through 14.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah 59, or it's like Jeremiah 50 in verse 9, and it reads, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon.
America.
against Babylon, not
Against
for
Babylon.
Babylon, because Lord is not for Babylon.
Yeah.
It says, an assembly of great nations. Again, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country.
From the north country.
Right.
Which you got to know, you got to have the line upon line and the precept upon precept. Because sometimes when you see it talking about a country in the north, it's a lot of times it'll be talking about America, right? But here, this is talking about Russia, the land of Gog and Magog, the Medes. It's all talking about Russia, modern day Russia. Okay, that can't be talking about America, Babylon the Great, because they're coming up against America, Babylon the Great. Yeah. So I mean, this is context. Reading is fundamental, right? But you got to have, like it says in Isaiah the 28th chapter, right around the 10th to the 12th verse, line must be upon line. That's your context, and precept upon precept, precept upon precept. All right, that's making sure that you're here a little and there a little. As you go to different books of the Bible, different chapters, different verses, you get a little bit more understanding here, a little bit more over there, a little bit more here, a little bit more there, a little bit more here, a little bit more there. You put it all together and you get the complete understanding.
Right.
So this is talking about Russia. That's that north country.
Right. And they shall set themselves in array against her.
Yeah, you see this happening, man. North Korea. That's another one of Gog and Magog's modern day Russia's homies. Right. Okay, you already know Belarus is down with them. Right. Hey, Turkey's down with them, man. Yep. And they're a NATO country. Okay, you got obviously Moab. Right. Okay, who are we forgetting? Can't forget the Persians. Right. That's the Iranians. Right. All right, and then you got a whole the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and some other Hamitic countries over there. A whole host of nations, man. That's right. And then ultimately, they're all going to join with Russia and fire their missiles. You got it.
That's right. It says, "From thence she shall be taken; their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man."
Missiles, man. That's what it's talking about, those arrows.
None shall return in vain.
Yeah, every last one of them's going to hit.
And Chaldea shall be a spoil. And all that spoil her shall be satisfied, said the Lord Yahweh. Yeah,
and nobody's going to be whiffing. Nobody's going to be hitting the air, man.
Right.
Okay, like you boxing somebody and you can't hit them. Every time you damn, Floyd, stay still, Floyd, let me hit you. Right. And so you never get satisfied because you don't hit them, right? No, you're gonna be hit. And when you do hit, you land a good punch, it's satisfying.
Right.
So they're gonna be landing those missiles, man. They're gonna be going at this whore, and they're gonna be satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Verse 11: because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage.
Yeah, destroyers of his heritage. We're his heritage, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as well as the Israelites that look like the other nations, but their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, we're his heritage, and we've been destroyed and robbed and spoiled.
Right.
Okay, chiefly, first and foremost, by the Edomites,
sure,
the so-called white man, generally speaking, the Caucasians, as well as the other heathen nations.
Right.
Let's get a precept on that real quick.
Okay.
This is First Maccabees 2 and 10. I'm gonna back that up with a quick precept. Real quick, this is a stick and move, a stop, drop, and pop precept, real quick, just to prove what I said. First Maccabees 2 and 10, and it reads that all the heathen nations, man, that we get on Esau the most because he's the ringleader and he's the worst offender by far, but they're all guilty. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom, referring to the kingdom of the nation of Israel? What do you mean had a part? And gotten of her spoils. Oh, that's what you mean. For this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Right.
And every last nation did. Every last nation robbed us and spoiled us, enslaved us and killed us. It's just that the Edomites did it the worst.
That's right. Scripture also says that the Lord was a little displeased with the heathen, but they forward the affliction.
Right. It talks about the controversy of Zion.
Right.
Okay, the Most High has a controversy with the heathen nations, man.
Right.
That controversy is the controversy of Zion.
That's right.
What they did to us.
Read Obadiah. It tells you that the Lord, is going to come up against these nations.
Right. In Zechariah 2 and 8.
Yep.
Let me get Zechariah 2 and 8 real quick. Another quick stop, drop, and pop precept. Zechariah 2 and 8. If I can get through. Okay. still in the Apocrypha, but you passed the Apocrypha. Zechariah 2 and 8, and it reads, and then we're back in the article so we can wrap this up. Zechariah 2 and 8. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. Right? For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. That's the controversy of Zion.
That's right. It says, continuing on, because again, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded.
That's the UK.
She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate.
Right.
Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
Right.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow.
All ye that bend the bow. You have capability of firing nuclear weapons.
Right. Shoot at her. Spare no arrows.
Yeah, shoot every last one.
For she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh.
There's not going to be a single nuclear weapon left. Right. Every last one's going to be fired.
Okay? Yep.
You got it.
I was going to say 200 million nuclear warhead detonations, man.
Over here.
In America.
And then America's going to fire off its and if Israel has its, Israel's going to fire off its as well.
Right.
They don't officially have any, but come on.
We talking about the goddamn
devil. Yeah, we talking about the chief devils.
Right.
Come on.
So getting into the last article, it says also from War News 24/7, published October 14th. It says all-out war declared in Ukraine. 120,000 troops line up Russia and Belarus for Kiev, shooting at the border as well. It says statements from Lukashenko ban on leaving the country for military personnel. So if you're in the military, you can't leave. No ifs, ands, buts about it. It says the president of Belarus, Lukashenko, announced a while ago that the joint force with Russia will consist of 70,000 Belarusian soldiers. The number is unreal for Belarus, and this is because the country's army is 75,000. We are now talking about declaring a general war in Ukraine, with the winter looking like a nightmare. And a lot of people, are thinking that that's when they're going to make their forward progress when during winter, because if it's not winter, the ground is more muddy and the ground is a lot softer. But during the winter time, the ground is hard and you can roll them tanks over. Mm-hmm. And the ground will be cold and hard, and the tanks and everything won't sink into the ground like they would when it's not winter. And I looked it up just to see when winter started, because I'm ready for this shit to pop off. Yeah. I think it said it was winter starts about November 15th over there. I had to look it up. I said, damn, can't wait, because that's also what they're saying. The turning point, a change they're looking at in between November and February is what a lot of people are saying. It says, therefore, Lukashenko indirectly confirmed that mobilization is underway. Why else is Belarus sending tanks upon tanks to Russia? It's obvious that something is about to pop off. Yahweh is up. It says Lukashenko indirectly confirmed that mobilization is underway, as revealed this morning by War News 24/7. Otherwise, the numbers do not come out. Combined, Russia and Belarus muster over 120,000 to 150,000 troops for Kiev alone. This is also inferred from various Russian sources would state that part of the reserves will be transferred to Belarus. It says Belarusian President Lukashenko said the regional troop grouping of Belarus and Russia would include 70,000 Belarusian soldiers and will be deployed in a western direction, and reiterated that nuclear weapons might appear in Poland.
Yeah, Poland is basically begging America, Babylon the Great, to station nuclear weapons in their country.
Right.
Okay, they don't have them, but they can host. They're a NATO country that can host nuclear weapons, and they're begging to have those nuclear weapons because they feel like that they got a target on their back.
Right, and that's another reason why NATO wanted Ukraine, so that NATO could put nuclear weapons in Ukraine, so that they can host nuclear weapons in Ukraine and be closer to Moscow, be closer to Russia.
And that's why Moscow, Russia was like, we ain't having that.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to shove a nuclear missile down our throats before we have a chance to even know it's coming.
Right. That's pretty close, man. I forget how far they said it was, from Ukraine to Moscow, but it's pretty close, man. And that's why.
And these are and they said they expecting. If I understand correctly, America has recently had a successful hypersonic missile test. Finally.
Right.
But if they put a hypersonic missile there, they could have it down Moscow's throat before they even know that it's coming.
Yeah.
And that's why they like, look, you're not gonna hit us with a kill shot before we even know we've been hit.
Right.
We need to make sure that we have an opportunity to see it coming, and to either shoot it down or at the very least get into the fire off ours as well and get into the bunkers.
Right.
And so that's why so he's like, it's absolutely unacceptable for those missiles to be that close. That's the reason why Russia is treating this the way that they are.
That's right.
Which is the Most High putting hooks in their jaws. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. It says, in addition, he said once again that he does not want to get involved in the war, and he accused Americans of declaring in meetings in Warsaw that they will go somewhere directly through Belarus. And I think that's really about it on that one.
Yeah, we can. We can pull it up there, bro, and get the rest of the precept. What we got left on the precept front?
Got the other one in Jeremiah 50.
Mm-hmm.
And Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat, XSR 441.
Shalom, Akya, Yehovah Shema Shabbat Shechakadash Barakatah. Yehovah Shema Shabbat Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, we got Jeremiah 50, Revelation 7, 1 through 4. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, okay. If that's it, we'll read them both.
And let me see. Ezekiel 38.
Yeah, Ezekiel 38. What we at right now?
53.
Okay. Let's get to Ezekiel 38 first.
All right. So jumping over to Ezekiel.
Just get like 1 to 7.
Okay. Ezekiel 38 and starting at verse 1. And it reads, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, which is Russia, modern day Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
And I'm gonna keep pushing this. Elder Apostle Tahar brought out, and it's a beautiful point that the way you say chief prince in the Lashon Kodash, okay, the Lashon Tahar, the holy tongue, the pure tongue, holy language, the pure language is chief is Ra'ash, and prince is Shar. And so chief prince would be Ra'ashar. Mm-hmm. And that's where the name Russia comes from. It comes from the Hebrew Ra'ashar, right. Russia, okay? Because that's where it starts talking about Russia, modern day Russia.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at it, that's really prophetic, man.
Yeah.
The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus said the Lord power, Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
The Most High is against all the Edomites, man.
Right.
And he's against all the heathen nations too. But he hates the Edomites.
That's right. It says, verse 4, And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses. It didn't say some. It didn't
Right.
say. It didn't say 300,000.
Right.
It said
It
all.
didn't say 1.2 million.
Right. It didn't say 1.2 million.
That's how you know that the mobilization that Russia is doing is a full and complete and total mobilization in stages. That's
Right.
the only thing. It's being done in stages, but it is a complete and total mobilization.
That's right.
According to the scriptures.
It says, And put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Yeah, weapons and equipment of modern warfare, offensive equipment, defensive equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what you expect to see? You expect to see MiG, whatever those mean. You expect to see, Russian SU, this and that, and man, it's going to be in biblical terms,
Right.
but it's referring to the modern weapons of warfare, offensive and defensive.
Mm-hmm. It says, verse 5, Persia,
Iran,
Ethiopia,
Ethiopia is still Ethiopia,
and Libya with them.
right? Okay,
all of them with shield and helmet.
mm-hmm.
Gomer,
Turkey,
and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands,
mm-hmm.
and many people with thee. And you gotta think that's a precept for Jeremiah 50, what we just went into, an assembly of great nations in the north country. That's a precept.
Yeah, we
went into that.
Yeah, it probably was a different part, but yeah, we went into that earlier because we break it up into parts.
Yeah.
Not on the brothers page. You can just
Yeah.
But that's a beautiful precept. Yep.
It says, verse 7, Be thou prepared.
Yeah, Russia,
Mm-hmm.
chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Get ready.
Right. And prepare for thyself.
Yeah, get yourself ready. And they are ready. They ready to go.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Thou and all thy company.
And all that company. Yeah, all those that's going to be with you. Turkey, Belarus, North Korea, the Persians, which are the Iranians,
right.
Moab, the Chinese, all of them. Get them ready. Get them ready too. You get ready and get them ready.
That's right.
Give them the order. Get ready. Hey, you nations that are in the know, get ready. Right. Those nations that's in the know, they got the message. What was the message? Get ready. What did they do? What's one of the first things they did? Close the embassy and evacuate all of our citizens and foreign nationals.
Right. Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
It says, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee.
Yeah, all of them.
And be thou a guard unto them.
Be thou a guard unto them.
Right.
Russia is a guard to Belarus. China's gotten kind of swole. They don't really need a guard like that. Okay. They used to, but they ain't gotten kind of swole right now.
Right.
But all the other nations, really, Russia is that guard to them, man.
Right.
And if America wasn't so busy with trying to hold together a crumbling empire, and if they weren't so much financially tied to China, America might try to just go in there and just deal with China. Because China is swole, but if all America had to deal with was just China, America might still be able to deal with that. Probably. Because America is blessed with the sword. They're Edomites. Right. Moab is not. They just copying.
Right.
They copycat.
Yep.
They doing a damn fine job. And they're gonna get their asses busted in the kingdom for it because they doing too good of a job
right.
following after the ways of Esau Edom.
That's right.
But yeah.
Jumping back over to Jeremiah 50 and verse 22, a sound of battle is in the land.
Yeah.
And of great destruction. Verse 23.
And it's music to our ears.
That's right. How is the hammer of the whole earth
That's America.
cut asunder and broken?
That's what's going to happen.
How is Babylon become a
Yeah.
desolation among the nations?
America, Babylon the Great.
Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found.
Clueless.
Right.
And I don't know, the Most High just showing you there is no free will, because how could you be clueless? Anybody could see that hey, this is not going to go well.
Right.
I mean, you about to fight 3 major wars on 3 major fronts, which is really just one war, it's the third world. But you about to go up against Russia, you about to go up against China, and you about to go up against Iran. Because Russia is handling its business with Ukraine, China is handling its business with Taiwan, is about to, and then Iran wants to handle its business with the Israelis, those boos, starts with a B, over there in the land of Israel.
Right.
Okay? And each one of them by themselves is a handful, the least of which would be the Iranians, but they're a handful too.
Right.
Okay? They got nuclear weapons, man.
Right.
They talk about, well, we're right there. We can have it in just a few weeks. You got it.
Right.
Okay? All right. So all of them are a handful by themselves. And the least of which has nuclear weapons, even if they don't admit it yet. Right? Well, how much more so if those 3, which are a handful by themselves, all join together and partner up? Have you ever heard the term that the sum of the whole, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole? Like when you add it all up, when you add Russia plus Iran plus China, that's greater than if you was to add it up, you think, okay, you added, this is where it's at. No, it's up here now.
Right.
It compounded in difficulty. See?
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, thou art found and also taken. It's like thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah.
It says, the Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth his weapons of his indignation.
The nuclear missiles, man, ICBMs and hypersonic missiles.
That's right.
And we always bring it out. Why would he bring, what in the world would he have weapons of indignation for? Well, he would have it for the people of his indignation.
That's right.
Which, according to Malachi 1 and 4, are the Edomites, the so-called white man, generally speaking. Those that call themselves Caucasians. Well, they're not trying to call themselves Caucasians anymore, because that's like really easy to tie to Obadiah.
Right.
So, but it's too late. You've been Caucasians for not thousands. You've been Caucasians for hundreds of years. Well, technically, they have been for thousands of years, because Caucasians mean cave dwellers. It's referring to the Caucasus Mountains,
right.
But they have been dwelling in the caves for thousands of years, because they come from Mount Seir, Petra.
Right. It says again, Jeremiah 50:25, the Lord Yahweh hath opened his armor and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans.
Modern day Chaldeans are the Americans.
Right.
And we're just going to get this last precept for you in Revelation, the 7th chapter, because this is the only reason why, as fast as things are going, there's still some restraint on some level, but it's like that chain. It's like you got a chain, and that chain is real strong, but one of those links is starting to get a little weak, and it's got a little gap in it, and that gap, you can see the chain vibrating and it's stretching. That gap is getting bigger, and bigger, and eventually either the link is just going to snap, or that gap is going to get so big that is just going to open up, and it's going to be off to the races. And so that's what's going on here. And we're going to read what that chain is and when that chain is going to be let loose. Right. Would be the best way to put it. Okay.
That's right.
And that's in Revelation, the 7th chapter. Get the first 4 verses.
Mm-hmm. Revelation 7 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And the precept for that going into Jeremiah 51, going into the Lord will bring a destroying wind upon Babylon. And that destroying wind going into the nuclear missile, man, that nuclear destruction when it hits America, aka Babylon the Great. It says, verse 2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Yeah, meaning our minds, okay? Sealed with the names of the Father and the Son.
Right.
Okay? Sealed with this truth, sealed with this doctrine. Okay?
Right.
And that's the only reason why it hasn't gone all the way yet. But look how close, man, that chain is straining, it's vibrating, that link is getting, the gap in that link is getting wider and wider and wider. And it's going to let loose pretty soon. Those angels are going to let go. And that wind is going to blow, that destroying wind.
That's right.
The beast, the land of America, Babylon the Great, as well as the land of Israel, is going to be swept with the besom of destruction.
That's right.
Pursuant to Isaiah the 14th chapter.
That's right. I'm already holding this, so I just get that destroying wind.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You know, in case any brothers are taking notes, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And because that destroying wind, precept upon precept, Jeremiah 51:1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
Mm-hmm.
And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And then, it continues on, man. But, that destroying wind means that nuclear destruction. Especially, when after that you see the nuclear destruction go off. And then after that you hear that boom. And then after that you hear the wind, that gust coming from that
shock wave.
From that nuclear destruction.
Yeah,
that shock wave. Yeah.
That superheated, extremely high velocity, a lot of kinetic energy.
Right.
All right. A lot of kinetic energy. It's coming at like 400, 500 miles per hour. Okay. Like I think it's like, it's just about the speed of sound, which actually is more like 700 some miles per hour. It's coming at hundreds of miles per hour. Yeah. Faster than tornado speed, faster than your Category 5 hurricane.
Right.
It's coming like 7. I think it's right about the speed of sound when it originates, and it slows down a little bit. By the time it gets out a couple of miles, it might be like 400 miles per hour. Right. Kind of slow, 400 miles an hour, really slow then. Okay, and it's superheated. Right. So it's high velocity, a lot of kinetic energy, superheated, radioactive. Yep. I'd say that's a destroying wind. What about you?
Yeah, and then also what comes with it as it's breaking glass and then glass
all the debris. Yeah. That for good measure, more destructive force for good measure. Right. Because as it's destroying everything, it's creating all kinds of debris. Really, they're missiles. Yep. I mean, not that you would survive that, but while you're getting your ass burned from the superheated and you're getting irradiated and you're getting, your face is getting shoved into your skull, well, while that's happening, you can get a nice piece of glass through you as well. They had a hurricane. I forget which one it was. It was one of the well-known ones down there in Florida when I was living down there in Homestead. And they had a picture of a 2x4 that was through a palm tree.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
You realize how much wind and force it is to take and put a 2x4 through a palm tree? It was embedded into the palm tree. Okay, it didn't shatter, it didn't split. It was through and inside the palm tree. It's just stuck there, and that could be you. You could be the palm tree. Right. If you get the lake of fire, if you get the thermonuclear destruction. Right. Yeah. That's why we gotta fear Yahweh Shalom Shah.
That's right. Revelation 7:4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And no not just 144,000. 144,000 going to be saved, man, because you have some Israelite groups or an Israelite group saying that only 144,000 is going to be saved.
Well, 144,000 is not an innumerable multitude.
Right.
It has a number. I mean, am I off? Am I wrong? I mean,
no, you're not wrong.
I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe 144,000 is not that's a not number. I mean,
That's a number.
It's a number?
That's a number.
I thought it was a number. It is a number.
Yep.
Well, that can't be the innumerable multitude.
Right.
Part of the innumerable multitude.
Right.
Okay. But I don't know what these dudes are thinking about when they say some of the things that they say, man. Okay. 144,000 can't be the innumerable multitude, man, and the innumerable multitude is going to get saved. Right. So the 144,000 is the top, the head, the top.
Elect of the elect.
Yeah, the elect of the elect.
That's right.
All right.
No, that was it.
All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And before we do, we're going to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Ba'chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Much peace, love, and respect to your brothers, teaching, pushing the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Adawan Radazai, this lesson was edifying and encouraging to you, Akim, and the Akwaf that may be listening and or watching. Ayashmayak Mana Azanim Leshamai Shemai. Let him who has ears to hear. Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yashala.
Babakusha Abai Baba Aitha.
Kusha Baba Aitha.
Wakar Adawam.
Wakar Adawam.
Salam Lahabakariam. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.